Hey everybody, it's Linda Faulkner. I am just getting things set up. We have about 5 minutes, I think, until it's actually 1:30 Central Time. It's 2:30 here in Maine, and I'm just playing with the camera to make sure I have things in the right spot for you. So if you are on there, let me know and tell me if you can see it, how's the lighting, anything else I can do before we get started would be a big help. Just let me know. I'm going to leave this up there until we're ready to get started, and then I'll flip it around and visit with you for just a second. So if you're there, give me a thumbs up or say hi. Let me know you're there. And also I need to know if the lighting's working or not. I'm seeing some shadows on this end, but I'm not sure what you're seeing from the other end. I've got both my studio lights up. I'll bring it a little closer, maybe that'll help. Doesn't seem to make a difference. So we'll just have to see what happens. I'll be ready to get started. I think officially in about 2 minutes, so I'm gonna go. Oh good, thank you. Hi Connie, thanks for letting me know. Connie says that the lighting is working well. The other thing I need to know, I'm going to turn the sound off on my phone, which I'm filming with. I need to know if it works. Actually, it's on silent, so that means I won't hear telephone calls. Can you hear me? I'm going to show you what's in the boxes in just a minute, Tracy. Those are little note cards. This is a paper pumpkin kit. It was my first project in my new house, or new apartment, I should say. So I'm going to get started in just a couple of minutes. I'll try to make it exactly at 2:30. Can't see my clock time. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Kathy. The picture is sideways. Is it sideways for everybody? There's my hand. My fingers are pointing up. Oh, you're almost a neighbor. Tracy's from New Jersey. Good to know that. I'm worried about the picture being sideways. I'm not sure what I would do about that, because I've got to film it this direction or it will not, you won't be able to see much. Could somebody else let me know if the picture is sideways for you too? It's sideways for Tracy. Okay, so does anybody know how to fix that? This is my first one. Oh, happy birthday next month, Tracy. I'm gonna turn it off real quick. I'll be right back on, but let me turn it off and I can, well, I don't know, it won't let me see the video. That's not gonna work either. All right, I don't know what else to do. Maybe, okay, let me take it off. If I do it that way, it's straight up? Rotate on the phone, tell me where to find it. I can change my camera. There's my camera. Hi guys, I'm here. All right, Diane, hi. If I turn my camera sideways, does it make me sideways? You can't turn your phone while recording. Okay. Well, okay, we're gonna have to change the plan then. Hi everybody, I'm Linda Faulkner. Is this better? I will do my best to try to get everything in the picture filming this way, and then I'll have to do a little research. This is my very first Facebook Live. We are having Stamp Club today. I just moved from Maine to Mississippi. I'm sorry, I'm nervous too. This is really strange for me. I just moved from Mississippi to Maine, and I left all my Delta girls in Mississippi from our 2 stamp clubs. So today we are gonna have our stamp club together as best we can do. And hi, Julia. It's good to see you. Some of my Mississippi friends are coming on. This is the first time. Now I've just figured out that I have to hold the phone upright in order to film. This may present some problems with seeing everything, but we'll just make it work, and then I'll do some research before I do another one so that I can get it right. Welcome to Stamp Club. I'll be doing these once a month, probably be the second Thursday of every month at 1:30, and I am gonna do my best. I see your pictures coming up. I think some of my stamp girls are there, but it's so small on my phone I can't see them. Yes, Tracy, you can win stuff. I will have some giveaways at the end. So today I'm going to talk about some of the specials going on. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. We're going to make a card. I'll give you a quick sneak peek. It is a Z card, and it looks like that. So we'll be making that card and just having a good time. So hang in there with me. I'm going to try to get my phone set up a little differently now. So, but I bet I can make it happen. So give me 1 sec. Okay, I'm gonna snap this in here, and I will have to do some adjusting with how I present. Hi Diane, good to see you. Well, hear you at least. Now, all right, this is not quite the way I have it set up, but we'll make it work. Okay, let me know if you find out that if it's not working. All right, let me talk to you a little bit. I just moved here from Mississippi. I had 2 stamp clubs going there, plus we had lots of special events and classes and that kind of thing. Today I want to show you a card, and we're just gonna do like I would normally do a stamp club, except you can't be here and I can't hug you, and we probably won't get to talk about what's going on in your life, but we'll try to back and forth from the comments. So this is the first project I did once I got started. I'm still in the stage where when I go to start a project, there's something that I don't know where it is. So I'm having to dig through and figure out where I stuffed it in the move. But my craft room is pretty much set up, and I just needed some inspiration. So I pulled out a paper pumpkin kit. And this is the one I use. This is April. Of course, I had to add some bling to it. I'm kind of a bling kind of girl, as you'll soon figure out. So I added, everything here was in the kit. I added some baker's twine, and I also added this little label, and it's coming from a brand new, it's called Stitched Labels Framelit Dies. And this is what it looks like. This is going to be difficult this direction, but I'll learn how for next time. So this is the label die that I use. Aren't those gorgeous? We'll also be using this little piece right here which has stitching. So I just wanted to try it, so I used it on this paper pumpkin. So there's 1, 2, here's another one. You get the idea. These are so easy. Everything's already cut out and ready. You just punch them out and glue them on. It took me about an afternoon. I think I made 20 cards and 4 boxes, so that's not too bad. And Tracy was wanting to know what's in the box, so here's the little gift cards. Aren't those the sweetest? And see, all of that's ready for you. All I had to do here was add a sticker and the sentiment. And here's another little lifesaver. Adventure awaits. I use a lot of thank you cards. I send a thank you note to anybody who makes a purchase from me. you're a lifesaver. So I already have, it also has the envelopes. So cute. So I already have people I need to give these to, but I'm also going to give one away as a door prize if you came today. So if you leave a comment on the Facebook Live video, or if you go to my blog and leave a comment before midnight tonight, I will put your name in the drawing, and one of the prizes will be one of these boxes. So that's just a little extra for fun. So that got me started. Now I'm motivated, and I got to go get started with all my new stuff. There is a special going on with Paper Pumpkin. Let me tell you that while we're talking about it. If you've never had a Paper Pumpkin subscription, you qualify. If you've had one before, you don't qualify. They're doing a 50% off your first month, and that's if you enroll before August 10th. So keep an eye on my blog. I'll go ahead and, I haven't done it yet, but I will get a post about Paper Pumpkin on my blog this weekend so that you can have some more information. So just a little extra there. The next thing I want to talk about is our project. And we'll be making today this little card. This is 3.5 by 5, and it's made with the paper called Petal Promenade. And if you have not seen that yet, this is a Z card, so it opens up. If you have not seen Petal Promenade, you are in for a treat. So here's one of the papers in it. Let me show you a couple of the others. Aren't those gorgeous? I love it. And there's one a little less traditional, not quite so girly, with the dark roses. Same thing. There's another one. Aren't those pretty? I just love the colors. One of the colors in here is a Grapefruit Grove, which is new. On the back, this is a 6x6 paper pack. On the back is marble. And I think one of them has some polka dots on it. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? And we'll be doing something with that also. So I just wanted to show you that. They're having a buy 3. Let me get all the advertisement out of the way first. They're having a buy 3, get 1 free paper sale in the month of July. So if you'll go to my blog, crafterinspired.com, and if you do /July specials, just all run together, no caps, you will get to the blog post that has more information. But if you buy any of these 3, there's 10 different choices, and Paper Promenade is one of them. You get a 4th pack for free, and the papers are gorgeous. Every one of them stands on its own. So let's get back to business. Let's get started on our project here. I started with Grapefruit Grove cardstock, and this is 5 inches by, let's see, 7 inches. So it's 3.5 by 5 inch regular card. So I'm going to have 5 inches high, and 3.5 and 3.5 would give us 7 inches. So it's like, think about a 5 by 7 picture frame. That's easier to remember. So I've got that already cut. I'm looking for my cheat sheet. And it's here somewhere. I can't find it. I'll just remember. So the first thing I need to do is some scoring. So let me get my Stampin' Trimmer out. The best trimmer in the world. And I need to score this at halfway, so 3.5 inches, just like a regular card. And on the Stampin' Trimmer, I'm going to have fun with this here. There we go. On the Stampin' Trimmer, there's 2 different blades. One's a scoring blade, one's a cutting blade. So I'm pulling my cutting blade out of the way, and I am pretending that you all are new stampers. So please bear with me, those of you who are experienced stampers. At least the first few times, I need to kind of go through the basics with you for those new stampers that are out there. So I just scored that, and you can see that has a beautiful little score line that makes it easy to fold. So that's at 3.5 on the long side, and then at 1 3/4. I'm basically scoring the middle of the front of the card. So there's my 1 3/4. So now I can fold. And the way I've been taught, the mountain, when you do a score line, you have a side that has a valley and a side that has a mountain. And they say it's best the mountain goes on the inside. And then I'm going to fold this one on the front back and use my bone folder. It helps if I use the right side. Y'all are gonna get all my mistakes today on live. This will be fun. And there we go. So that's a Z card. Very, very simple. So the next thing I wanna do is go ahead and put the backing on so I can look at that gorgeous paper. So I picked this one and I cut it 3.5 by 5. That's the size of the actual card. And I should have put paper underneath here. I'm gonna have to be pulling my tape up off the back of that cardboard. So I'm just gonna push it up against the fold, make sure it's lined up on one edge, and press it in. Now look, this always happens to me no matter how careful I am. I always get a little bitty edge that doesn't, that's too it sticks out. That's what I'm trying to say. So all I'm gonna do is trim that off and voila, not a big deal. When you're measuring for something that's gonna cover the whole side of a card, I always give it just a smidge extra, which obviously I did not do there, so that if it won't show that cardstock along the edge. All right, so it's gorgeous already, isn't it? The next thing I wanna do is some stamping. So I'm gonna grab my Grapefruit Grove, and this is one of the new ink pads. You're gonna love them. They open and shut just like a compact, so much easier. And I'm gonna grab a piece of paper, so hold on. I don't wanna ruin my cardboard. I just bought a new desk calendar, and so I'm gonna be using the back of it, and it works perfectly for this. So I'm just gonna cover everything. Pardon this for just a moment. And then I can stamp all over it, and it won't matter. I'm a messy stamper. All right, I think we're ready to get back in business. So that's about as high up as I can go. All right, got my Grapefruit Grove, and I have my card. I want to make a little bit of a background. When I created the card and left it plain, so it was like that, it just didn't look right. It needed a little something extra. So we're going to stamp some of the leaves, and we are going to be using the Healing Hug stamp set. This is one of the new stamp sets that just came out. We'll be using the Beautiful Rose, we'll be using the leaves, and the Get Well Sentiment from Healing Hugs is the name of that one. So I am opening my stamp ink. Now, take a look at this. See, opens just like a compact. Now, when you first open them, they're hard. They're a little bit stiff. I haven't used this one very much, so it's gonna take a few times before it loosens up. But it also protects that ink from getting air or drying out. So I want to stamp, now this is scrap paper, remember, I'm good to go there. But I want to just stamp that front edge. So I've just taken a piece of scrap paper. Gonna do a few, y'all know the tap thing, right? Don't be squishing your stamps into the ink, just a light tap, like that. And I'm gonna just do images that are stamped completely off, make it look like a random background. It's important to turn your stamp around so you're not getting the same direction each time. This is a very forgiving technique. If you mess up, nobody's really gonna know it was intentional or not. Let me switch it around. And I need something here. What do you think? I think that's pretty good. So once I move this paper, you can see I have a perfect line, and it's just a random stamp background. That itself would make a beautiful card, wouldn't it? While we've got the Grapefruit Grove ink out, let's go ahead and do some more stamping. So I'm gonna move that out of the way, grab some Whisper White, and let's stamp our other images. I need to stamp my rose. This particular stamp the leaves and the actual rose are part of a stamp series called distinctive stamps, and they're made to with a special process by Stampin' Up! To look like almost like a photograph. So look what happens when I stamp this. Isn't that pretty? You don't really need to do anything else to it. It almost looks like a photograph, just like that. So I'll need one rose, and then I'm going to need 2 green leaves. So let me switch inks. Now to close these, you just squish the end. Just give it a little bit of a push. You've got to pull it back out like that, and then you close it just like a compact. Isn't that nice? Nice click. And you can hear that seal. So I'm going to open up my new Granny Apple Green, my favorite green. Remember, these are going to be stiff when you get started, so pushing that in is a little bit hard. Now, I need to clean off that ink from my leaf. So I have a new toy. I'll show you. This is called Simply Chamois, and it's kind of like it's not really a sponge. It's nicer than a sponge, but it has the same effect. So I just dampened it, and I'm just putting it in one of these cases. You can just leave it out and use it as a wipe, but I like to use it like that, just like I used to use the Stamp and Scrub pad. And then you can just stick it in the washer when it gets too bad. So I've got my stamp clean on my Simply Chamois, and I'm gonna ink 2 leaves. There's 1 and 2. There we go. I'm gonna wipe it back off. Easy to do again. Simply Chamois. Something I couldn't wait to try. It's funny, a lot of demonstrators were using it, but Stampin' Up! Wasn't selling them. And they asked Stampin' Up! If they would carry them, and they did. So thank you, Stampin' Up! That is awesome. All right, so we've got our stamping done here. I've got one more thing to stamp, and that is my sentiment. And if you remember, that's gonna go right here on the back. So I'm going to stamp. I usually stamp first, and then I'll cut it out. That works the best in most cases. And I'm gonna also stamp that in Granny Apple Green. Hey, there's another special I can tell you about while I'm stamping here. I'm gonna give myself plenty of room to cut it out. That looks pretty good to me. I wanted to tell you about, there's a special for joining Stampin' Up! This month. In July, if you join Stampin' Up!, you get a whole collection of free ink pads. So basically, you purchase a starter kit for $99. You choose what's in it. They're going to give you $125 worth of Stampin' Up! Product that you choose. So you'll get $26 of free stuff. Plus you get a whole collection of ink pads. So that would be 10 ink pads. And some of those collections, all of those collections have some new inks in it. So for instance, Granny Apple Green is in I think it's in the Brights collection. So you choose which collection you want, and you get all 10 brand new stamp sets. And they are the brand new kind of closure also. So that's a pretty good deal. So I'll be posting something on the blog about that fairly soon. So hang on, keep coming back and watching for that. All right, so here we are. We've got the sentiment, and we've got part of our Z card done. I think the next thing I'm going to do is pull out the Big Shot and do the Big Shot work all together. So the sentiment, and I'm using the stitch shape framelits, the largest circle, and I'm just going to center that and run it through the Big Shot. So let me show you how to do that in case you've not done it. I'm just going to show you on one thing. And I've already done some of the others, so it won't take quite so long. Now, I guess you can see. Now, for the Big Shot, I love this machine. I have a Silhouette. I don't ever use it. It involves turning my computer on. So a Big Shot is just there. It's ready to go all the time. So I started with my base plate. I have a thin die adapter on top of that. And then you can see my cruddy all messed up clear plate. And next it's gonna go with my sentiment and my cardstock. I've got that centered. I don't think I need to tape it. I can use Post-it note or washi tape to tape it down if it's a real delicate die, but I think that's going to hold it down fine. And I'm just going to go through. And because I'm on camera, I'll just go back so you can see it coming back at you. And this die is going to make a circle, but it looks like it has stitches all the way around the edges. It's really pretty. And they have it in, if you haven't gotten a shape, framelits, a set of framelits for shapes, I would get the stitch die framelits because you're going to get circles, squares, and ovals in a variety of shapes. So isn't that pretty? I think it's going to work fine. So I'm going to pull that aside. There's one other thing that I need to use my Big Shot for. I need to cut another circle out of white cardstock, which I've already done. I need to cut some leaves, and I'm using the Petals and More, I think is the name of the die. It's called the Petals and More Thinlits, and I'm using this leaf. If you have thinlits or punches, you could use the leaf punch. You could use anything that you already have. You don't have to buy a whole die set just for the leaf. Although if you were going to get one, this would be one of my favorites. This is gorgeous. It does lots of, hi from Wyoming, Nada. Good to see you. Jana, my friend is there. Hi, Jana. And so any kind of leaves are going to work for you. So I went ahead and cut those to save you having to watch me do it. I did not use a precision plate for that. I just ran it through my Big Shot and then ran it back, and it worked just fine. I think the new standard plate that they gave us a year or so back has really made a difference in cutting things the first time. All right, so I've got leaves, and oh, one more thing I got to show you. I went a little crazy. I had to try some of those new die cuts that I got. I don't know if you can see, can you see the stitching here? That little stitching, I'm going to show you how I did it. There is a die, and it's called Detailed Stitch Labels Framelit Dies. And so this is what the little plain stitch looks like. So we're going to need to run that through our Big Shot. And here is the edge that I stitched it on. I did it on. So I need to tell you a little secret. Of course, you know how I figured this out. If you run it through where the stitch is going to be here on the edge, and then you have this extra plate, you're going to get a crease right here from the plate. So you've got to run it through the other direction. And so I just lined it up right there on the edge. And it's a little harder to do on camera. It will be a miracle if I actually get this straight, but I'm gonna give it a try. Hang on, that's not gonna work. Let me do it this way. That way I can see what I'm doing. So I've got to run it through this direction, and now I can see that it's even. Let me put my plate on top, and if everyone will cross your fingers, I'll fix the camera. I just whacked it. I should have a piece of tape on there, but of course I do not have one with me. Might have to go get one. It may not work. Yeah, we're gonna go get tape. Actually, I'm just gonna skip that step, but let me tell you what I would do. So I would put it right there. Are you back now? Did you enjoy that little view of the tabletop? Here we go. I'm gonna put it right there. I'm gonna put a piece of washi tape on it, and I would run it through the Big Shot just like that. Run it there and back. And then you'll have that little stitch edge. I'm not gonna take the time to do that because I don't have any washi tape beside me. So that's just one of those extras you can do if you want to. Now, the next step, I wanna go ahead and put my sentiment on the back. So let me get the Big Shot out of the way and we'll be ready. There will be door prizes. I'm giving away 2 different things. One of them is one of these little boxes full of note cards from Paper Pumpkin, and the other is the Trio Punch. This is a new punch. We've had trio punches before. This one has a corner rounder. It has a little hole that you can use to put ribbon through, and then it has a little decorative corner edge to it. So these are a lot of fun. So I have one of those to send also. To register for a door prize, you just comment on the video, or you can go to my blog at crafterinspired.com and leave a comment on today's post before midnight, or yesterday's post, the latest one. All right, I'm gonna put a little tape runner on here and attach it to the center of the back of the card on the inside. Okay. And now let's start to build our circle that we're going to put on the front. So I'm gonna need to center that just right on top of that other circle. So I'm gonna put a little bit of, I'm using fast fuse. You can use scoring tape since we don't have fast fuse anymore, but you're just gonna go halfway across one side. And I'm just eyeballing it, making sure I don't go more than halfway. Then I'm gonna close my card and lay that on top to make sure I get it aligned. And so I've attached it just to this front side. See, on the back, it's loose. So when you have your Z card folded like that, it will cover up the circle on the inside. All right, let's start building layers. This is the fun part. I'm gonna start at the bottom layer. So this is what we're working toward. So I'm gonna start with the green leaves on the bottom and then the leaves that I have stamped. Now, this, as you can see, if I would use both of these, that's gonna be way too big. So just start pulling it in and just cutting off what you need. So really, I'm just gonna need about that much. See how much of the stem I cut off? So I'm gonna pull it back, and I need about that much. So I'm gonna use that on the other side as a guide. So I might be able to use those other leaves for something else. So just pull off the top part of that, and it depends on what one you're using. All right, now remember this is scrap paper here, so I'm gonna put a little bit of tape runner on the back. Just a little, mostly on the stems. And then I'm gonna start layering. So that's gonna go here, and I wanna go as far up on the card as I can at an angle, and then as far down as I can. And my rose is gonna cover up that in the middle, okay? So there's my first layer. Now the next part is a little trickier. I can go ahead and put my leaves on, but I kind of need to see where they're gonna fit with the rose. So I took that rose and I fussy cut it. Now there's another little technique I did. You can or don't have to, it's up to you. I took a dauber, which are these, they're sold in a pack of 5. Best investment you will ever make. And here's one of the old ink pads, so it's really easy to get into, but it doesn't close as easy. So I put some Calypso coral here on this rose, and here's my stamping that we did earlier. I've fussy cut them already so you could see, but here's the sample. And I'm gonna just daub some of that on the edges at the top and at the bottom, just to give it a little more dimension. And then I'll fussy cut it out. It's up to you if you want to. It will hide a little bit of the detail that you get from that gorgeous stamp. But see, it makes it look just a little bit different. Let me show you. There's one that's daubed and there's one that's not. Just a little bit of difference depending on how much you want to put on there. This stamp is really cool. You can actually ink the whole stamp with daubers, and you could mix colors together. There's just all kinds of fun things you can do with it. So I have my rose and I fussy cut it out. You can do it right on the edge, or you can leave a little bit of white like I did here. It's just your preference. And then I did the same thing for the 2 leaves. So I have another set I stamped and I fussy cut those. So let me show you those. And I'm gonna close this up. Pet peeve, close your ink pads. All right, so let's kind of play a little bit. I'm gonna use dimensionals or pop dots to put the rose on. And then I'm going to tuck these two leaves underneath. So I think I'll put my rose on first, but I'm gonna put my dimensionals in the middle so that I have plenty of room on that bottom corner to tuck those in. So I'm gonna put them in the middle and maybe at the top. And I think that'll still be plenty of support for that. Peel those off. These are called Stampin' Dimensionals. It's the same thing as a pop dot. But I like the height of the Stampin' Up ones. They're not too thick, but they're just enough to give you that raised look, extra dimension. Okay, so that's on. Now I'm gonna take my leaves and you can curl them. I like, since it has a nice little vein in the center, I kind of just folded it where that vein was and maybe curl a little bit just with my fingernails to make them, give them a little bit of movement. Okay, got that? So let me do the other one and then let's figure out where we want to put them. Hi Connie, I'm glad you got to come. And I have Reba. I don't think I've met you, Reba. Welcome. Hello. All right, so I'm gonna play with these and see what I like. Tuck and tuck. To me, it looks a little bit like the top of a rose stem. Yeah, I kind of like that. I think we're good there. I think I will use a glue dot. That seems to be the, so I'll have plenty of strength, but it won't take up a lot of space, so it won't flatten it out. So if you haven't used glue dots before, you press what you need to glue onto the little glue dot roll and then it'll just pop right off. Glue dots will stick to you forever if you've ever gotten one on your fingernail. So let's tuck these in. And we are almost done, guys. Thanks for hanging with me. If you have any suggestions, because I can't really see what you're looking at right now, please let me know. I'm working okay, I think, with this turning the camera around the other direction. If it works for you guys, I'll have to do some research and find out if there's another way to do it. All right, so there's my leaves. I can continue to pull them up a little bit to give them a little dimension. And of course, if you know me, more is not enough. I am a glitter girl. My granddaughter is the very same way. I have glitter on everything in my craft room since she's found it. But I'm gonna take some Wink of Stella and just do some highlights all over my rose. You could do them on your leaves if you want. I just like the look of that. And I don't know that we'll be able to see it on the camera. Let's see. I can't tell it. I'm not even seeing it here. Anyway, there is glitter on there and it will show up when it dries, I think. All right, so what are we missing? We're missing pearls and we're missing the ribbon. All right. Oh, new favorite thing. This is the 5/8 inch polka dot tulle ribbon. The neat thing about this is that you can color it any color. You could use a dauber. You could use a drop of ink in a baggie to kind of make it look distressed, or you could actually just use a mister. So I'm just tying a bow, and I don't care how big it is. Make it big so that you can deal with it. And then what you do, I think I started with about 12, let's see, maybe 14, 12 or 14 inches of ribbon. And then you pull it in to make it look pretty and play with it until you get it like you want it and cut off the extra. Don't try to make a little bitty tiny bow. You'll be very frustrated, to say the least. All right, I want it smaller. Just pull those in, and then I'm just gonna trim the ends off to make a little bow. At an angle. Okay, we're good. And again, the glue dot is your friend. Let's grab a glue dot. I'm just gonna press that there. Pick that glue dot up and tuck it right there in the leaves. Pretty? Almost. We gotta have a little bling, of course. So the last step Oh, my pearls have run away. They're here. I just saw them. That's really straight. There they are. All right. These are called Share What You Love Artisan Pearls. In my blog post, I haven't posted it yet, so give me a couple of hours after the video, but it'll be www.crafterinspired.com, and it'll be today's post, but you can also hashtag floral, or flowers, I think is what I called it. So flowers is the post that's going to have this on it. So I'm going to take some of these grapefruit grow pearls that are trying to escape. I'm going to put 3 in the center. And if you can do it by your hands, more power to you. I cannot. I have to have something to pick it up with. Tweezers, scissors, lots of things work. So I'll put 3 pearls in the center, and then I won't take your time to do it. But like this card, I just put 3 little pearls on the outside of the circle. And then on the sentiment, I put a little pearl in part of the get well sign. So there you have it. We're all done. Oh, no, we are not all done. More is not enough. That's my theme. There's a store in Corpus Christi that was their theme. They did Christmas like you wouldn't believe. But we're gonna need to have something special for the envelope. So let me show you how I did that. I took the envelopes that go with the 3.5 by 5 inch cards. The Stampin' Up! Ones come with note cards and envelopes together in one pack. So I have cut this little piece, I think 2.5 inches by 5 1/4. You want to go a little bit bigger than the actual envelope. And I am going to put some tape runner on my envelope flap on the outside, kind of on the edges. So this is not the sticky part of an envelope, this is the outside. I think that should do it. And then I'm going to lay this, it might be easier to do it this way. So I'm going to lay it right there on the edge and seal it up. Press it hard. Now, of course, that doesn't match. Actually, if you cut it exact, you could cut it straight and have a flat rectangular tab if you like. But I'm going to cut it the actual outline of the envelope flat. So just turn it over and just trim around it. You know, Stampin' Up! Used to have a framelit die so that you could cover the inside with paper. They have another one, it's back, and I have just ordered it. I ordered the frameless just for that, so I'll show that to you next time. Okay, we're done. There you go. So here's our envelope, and then our card. I didn't quite finish the one we were working on, but we're pretty darn close. Here it is. I just needed to add a few more pearls, and there's our little card. Isn't that beautiful? You could use that for birthday, Mother's Day, almost any girly occasion. It's really pretty. I like that. And then, of course, don't forget, once you've made a card, just duplicate it with different papers and stamps for any other kind of card. So you could do the Z card for almost any occasion. All right. I think I'm almost through. Don't forget to enter a comment here or on my blog. Let's see if there's anything else I forgot to mention. Paper pumpkin, 50% off your first one. Buy 3, get 1 free on paper. Join for $99 in the starter kit, and you get a free stamp set. Oh, one more thing. I need to tell you, there is, let's see. Oh, I have to turn in the names of those I'm going to send a holiday catalog. I know they're already talking holidays. A holiday catalog to by the end of July. And where I get that list is from people who have purchased from me in the last 6 months. So a lot of you I have sent catalogs. I haven't heard from many of you yet. So if you're procrastinating working on that wish list, now is a good time, because I'll need to know if you'll show me you're interested in the catalog by making a purchase from the new annual catalog. If you don't have a catalog and need one, if you would leave a comment on my blog or my email. My email is Linda, Lynda at crafterinspired.com. Would love to hear from you. I'm anxious to go back and read all the comments. Hi, Carrie. Carrie's one of my downline. Good to see your name there. I'm anxious to go read comments. Thank you so much for coming. If you have any feedback as to how it went or what to look for, etc., please let me know. And don't forget, there are door prizes, of course. I'll be giving away both of these door prizes to a random person. I'll put all the names together and do the random number generator to see who wins. So I'll be posting the winner on my blog, and will contact you if I can find your information. So let me know if there's anything else I can do, and I will be back with more videos. This was fun. I hope it didn't look too crazy. I'm anxious to kind of see what happens. I'm going to try to post this also onto YouTube, so if you need to see it again or wanted to make the card, let me know. We'll be doing our Stamp Club meetings once a month. I'm going to try to keep with the second Thursday of every month at 1:30 Central Time in honor of my Mississippi Delta ladies. That is when we had Stamp Club at my house. So thanks for coming, and I will talk to you soon.